Sometimes it can be so hard to cut things out of our budget that we think are necessities. There are certain services or certain things that we do all the time that we think we just need. Well, I'm going to tell you a few things that I don't do and I don't purchase that some people may consider necessities, but I like to do at home. Now, if you go out and purchase any of these things, that's totally fine, but I'm hoping that this will challenge your thoughts and make you think about things that you actually need and not just keep buying the same things you've been buying because you think it's a necessity. I just want to preface, these are things my husband and I do at home to save money. The first thing I do at home to save money is haircuts. I've been cutting my husband's hair for years and years, and when we first started dating, I got a cheap set. I think it was under $50. And it was on sale. That was a corded hair clipper set. And recently we actually just upgraded to a cordless hair cutting set. So it's hair clippers that are cordless and it makes it so easy to cut my husband's hair. Obviously, this may not work for you for saving money if you can't cut your spouse's or partner's hair, or maybe they don't want you to cut their hair. Personally, my husband does not cut my hair. I just do little hair trims and my mom does that for me, and she's been doing it for me since I was super young. So I'm very happy with that. I just like to have a small trim because I like to keep my hair long but healthy, so that's what my mom's been doing for me for a very long time, and that saves tons of money. I would say I trim my husband's hair monthly or every other month, and that would be really expensive if you add it up. If my husband would go and get his hair done and it would cost $25, which actually I have no idea how much haircuts actually cost these days, but if it was $25, that means we save $300 a year by me just cutting his hair, and his haircut is very simple and he loves how I do it. I'm actually very efficient with it, and I can usually do it in 20 to 25 minutes. So because I cut my husband's hair and my mom cuts my hair, I would say we save probably around $300 to $800 a year just on that. So I feel like this next one is something that a lot of people do at home to save money, and it's very common, and it is making coffee at home. I have been making coffee at home for years and years. We almost never get coffee out, and not that there's a problem with getting coffee out and going to coffee shops if you enjoy that, but for me personally, I love making my coffee at home and I love the taste so much more. So I did the math a while ago, and it would cost over $3,000 to get the coffee done exactly how I make it if we were to go out every single day and get coffee. I like to make a cappuccino every single morning with homemade vanilla bean syrup, and I use soy milk, and I know that getting that every single day would be so expensive, and I'm so happy to make it at home as well because I can make the coffee in the way that caters to my needs. I also change the syrups up that I make around the holidays, and I make like a peppermint mocha or a pumpkin spice, and I absolutely love being able to customize and change my coffee. And I also get to buy beans that I love, and I can afford all of those things because I'm not spending $3,000 on a coffee. We also do have a Breville coffee maker, and obviously that is an upfront expense. I think it was around $600, but it lasts a very long time and you make your money back very quickly. Having coffee at home is great, and also you don't need a $600 coffee maker. There are lower end coffee makers that do the exact same thing. We just love our coffee maker because it heats up a bit faster than the cheaper Brevilles, and I've had the cheaper, I think it's Cafe Roma. We've had that one before and it was great, but now we do have a different one. The next thing we do at home to save money is dog grooming. So we cut our dog's hair. We used to go to, you like my lipstick? I love you. So we didn't always groom our dog's hair. We used to go to an amazing place, and then they closed down, unfortunately. And we were fine paying every other month $100 for grooming with tip, of course, but they closed, and we found a different place that we tried several times, and we disliked how they groomed so much because they left his paws hair so long and his nails long. So then we had to fix his hair when he came home, and we figured, okay, if we're spending 15-20 minutes fixing his hair, cutting his hair properly, cutting around his eyes properly, we might as well just do it ourselves. Now he is in need of a haircut right now, but it is winter and I don't want him to freeze, so I'm waiting a couple weeks and then we'll cut his hair again. My husband is actually the one that cuts his hair most of the time. He's absolutely amazing at it. I usually just trim around the eyes. Hi, he likes jewelry. I usually just trim around his eyes and his like ear hair to make it the way I like it to be, and his tail, but my husband does the rest. And we actually have a dog grooming hair clipper that's attached to a vacuum that we got off Amazon. So when you cut the dog's hair, it just sucks it into the vacuum and it makes it really easy and simple. And we also cut out nail trims and we do it ourselves. That would be an extra $30 a month that we'd have to pay. Well, actually the $30 was every other month as well, because when we'd bring him to grooming, he'd get his nails trimmed there. But he's much happier with us doing it, and he's a very calm boy and not stressed. Look how cute he is. I'm gonna put him down now and I'm gonna continue with the video. For dog grooming, I would say we save $600 to $1,200 on dog grooming. Sometimes you have to bring him to the groomers more often in the summer. Sometimes you have to go every single month, and also his nail trim as well was really expensive to add on to that. Now, when you have a dog, these are necessary costs. If you're not capable of cutting your dog's hair, that's totally fine. For us, he actually gets really anxious when he went to hair groomers and getting haircuts. The first groomers we ever went to, we loved how they did his hair so much. But like I said, we switched to another one when the first groomers closed and they did a really bad job. And the final straw for me was when we went to pick up my dog and they passed him to me and he was not properly clean. So there was hair all over him. And then my legs were filled with hair and I had to go out and do things that day. And that was the outfit I was going to wear. So I was filled with hair and it was really frustrating because I don't think that's how you should cut dog's hair. And also another thing is when we went and left my dog to get his hair groomed, we'd have to kind of wander around for an hour and stay around that area because I usually went to dog grooming places that they would do his haircut right away and then you'd pick him up. So it would take about an hour for the first place we went to and then the second place. It sucked. I'm not even going to talk about the second place anymore, but now we don't have to waste an hour just wandering around grocery shopping if we don't need to. Now we just do his haircut at home. We spend the same amount of time wasted because we're waiting for him anyways, so it doesn't really change anything time-wise. And I think we do a better job. So another thing that I do at home is waxing. And I've been waxing my eyebrows at home for so long. I actually started in grade 7 because I was tweezing my eyebrows for the dance that you do. Maybe it was grade 8 actually. There's a dance that you go to at the end of grade 8 and I have no idea what it's called, but I was just tweezing my eyebrows. I'm like, this is a waste of time. So then I just waxed them and I've been doing it ever since. And I know that saves me about $30 a month because I wax my whole face myself and I know it would cost around $30 to do that. So I'm saving $360 and sometimes I even wax every 2 weeks. So that would be even more expensive. That would be $720 if I wax every 2 weeks and I go and pay somebody for that. So I'm very happy to do services myself. And another thing is doing most of these services at home actually saves so much time. If I was going to go and get my eyebrows waxed, it would probably take me 15 minutes to drive somewhere to get my eyebrows waxed. And it takes me less than 15 minutes to wax my eyebrows and everything else that I'd need to wax on my face. So not only does doing these things at home save money, but it also saves so much time. The last thing I'm going to mention in this video about what we do to save money, of course there's lots of other things we do, but I just wanted to make this video a little bit shorter and only mention 5 things, and that is work out at home. I know some people need the motivation of a gym to be able to work out, but for me personally, it's way more convenient for me to work out at home. And it gives me less excuses because I'm home, because I'm working at home. So if I can't get to the gym or I can't go out in that day, I can still work out at home. There's almost no excuse because I can work out in my office. I can pull out a mat or pull out an exercise bike. And of course, when you work out at home, sometimes you may want to buy equipment. So that does add to the cost, but that's usually a one-time upfront cost instead of a gym membership. My husband and I have actually never got a gym membership because I know they're horrible to cancel and I never had to deal with that and I don't want to have to deal with that. And I love having equipment that we can use at home. My husband has a Bowflex weight system that he absolutely loves. And I have a walking treadmill and an exercise bike. Of course, these things cost money, but they are an upfront one-time cost instead of paying for a gym membership every single month. I know gym memberships vary in price dramatically. I know they can be from $50 to $200, even some of them are $20. Let's say that my husband and I each had a gym membership for $50. That would be $100 a month, which would be $1,200 a year. So that is a lot of money that we would be wasting on a gym membership, at least for us. I know for a lot of people that may not be a waste and it may be the only motivation that you have to exercise is to go to a gym. And that's totally fine. And I don't know if in the future, maybe we will try a gym, but right now, currently that's what we do and it works really well for us. I'm hoping this list of things has inspired you to maybe look at the things that you're spending every single month and see if you need them, or maybe you can consider canceling them and doing some things yourself. It can be really easy to get in the habit of doing the same thing over and over again and not considering, do I need this thing? Do I need a gym membership? Do I need to get my hair cut or go out for coffee? Now, if you love doing these things, that's totally fine because maybe you have a list of things you don't buy that I do buy. And personal finance is personal, and I'm not telling you not to buy any of these things, but this is just what we do, and this saves thousands of dollars a year, and I'm very happy with the fact that we do all of these things at home. I'd love to know in the comments if you do any of these things or what you like to do to save money and things that you like to do at home. I'm hoping you'll stick around for more financial content. I post every single week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!